today's video, we're going to discuss the 6 most important meme coins currently in the market with 2000x potential. These meme coins right now are about to bounce extremely hard once Bitcoin turns around and goes bullish again. So you have to pay attention right until the end because I'm going to break down these charts. I'm going to explain to you what can happen, all the possibilities, if it's going to go up, if it's going to go down, how high it can go, and most importantly, how much money you can make in this market. So stay tuned right until the end. At the end, I have a very special announcement and different type of content that I think you're going to like, and it has a ton of alpha there. So stay tuned right until the last second. Okay, let's get started. No time to waste. Firstly, Bitcoin is just going sideways, and I'm going to explain what this means to our meme coins right next. If meme coin basically goes and breaks down a little bit, then I'm going to explain to you what can happen to all these meme coins. I do think we're still bullish. We're still in a bullish market. We still haven't seen the actual parabola, the craziness in Bitcoin, and many of these meme coins can go much higher, especially Momo. Now, Momo is currently at support, and we have these 2 support lines, which are honestly like quite obvious. So the previous top, which is now support, which was here major resistance, and then we have all of this resistance here that turned into support twice. And in a bear case scenario, if we see BTC break down back into like 100k, 112k, etc., which I don't think it's going to happen, we could see Momo touch 19-20 million market cap and then continue higher and higher and higher into the 50s, 60s, 100 million market cap. But here's what I think is most likely. Okay, this is like the bearish case scenario, which, look, I always want to be frank with you guys and I want to tell you guys everything that can happen. Currently it's at support. I do think it's a good buy here. If Bitcoin breaks down, we could go a little bit further and reaccumulate here, which is incredibly bullish. The vast majority of these charts, they like literally die right after they touch 40 million market cap. And after this accumulation, I think the next leg extension could take us to something like 100 million market cap. That's what I think. Momo is looking incredibly bullish. It's down 15% on the 24-hour, but so is literally everything else. The difference is Momo is down 15% after pulling a 300-fold, 300x. So tap on the back here. Congrats to all of us. Now let's talk about Useless. Useless is looking amazing. We have this trend line here, got touched 1, 2, 3 times. It may go for a 4th time, which would be a touch at 261 million market cap, and then a continuation to the trend. I think there will be some resistance at 500 million market cap. If this trend line doesn't hold, then maybe Useless can come back down to this previous resistance point here in the 26th of June, which is 147, 145 million market cap in the bearish case scenario for something like Useless. This is where you would load your bag on Useless, but it's looking amazing. It's one of the strongest meme coin charts I've ever seen. The thing is, like with Momo, you're basically gonna get more upside once it moves. You're just gonna get way more upside, you know, into the 100 million, 200 million zone even. And the downside, to be completely honest, is really not that much. If you compare the 𝗘𝗫𝗂𝗧 downside to something like Useless, let's say worst case scenario on Useless, you get a 50% drawdown, or something like Momo from the top, you also get a 50% drawdown from the top. It's really not that big of a difference, to be completely honest. Then when we come to 𝗘𝗫𝗂𝗧, you can tell 𝗘𝗫𝗂𝗧 wants to fly. I mean, look at this daily candle right here. You can tell whales want this thing to fly, but there's a lot of lettuce hands. We need to shake these lettuce hands, get them completely out. Even yesterday, look at this green candle right here. Okay, you could see they were trying to push it, but it's still not the moment. I think maybe tomorrow or in 2 days, I think 𝗘𝗫𝗂𝗧 might be ready for the actual bullish turn. And I think it's going to be fast, and you need to position fast. Like tomorrow, the candle could be something like this at 60 million market cap, and then you're left behind and you're kind of like forced, instead of having bought like a 33, you're going to buy on a double almost. You're going to buy like plus 90%, plus 100%. You're just going to be left behind. And what do you think? If 𝗘𝗫𝗂𝗧 pulls a candle like this, that means Useless is probably not going to go down much further. And that means Momo is probably going to like put all-time highs in a single day, like out of nowhere. So you should be bullish. Like the 3 amigos, I call them: Momo, Useless, 𝗘𝗫𝗂𝗧. These are the main characters of this entire new meta. It's like the Whiff, Popcat, and I don't know, Giga of the BONK meta. These are the only 3 ones that are leading this entire meme space right. Momo, Useless, 𝗘𝗫𝗂𝗧, Useless, Momo. And they all look great. Then we have one on Pump Fund. There's like a handful of coins on Pump Fund that look good. And AWR is one of them. It's kind of sad that the Pump Fund team decides to support all these like non-scammers when they could have supported the AWR team, for example. They're awesome. They're not rug puller. They could have supported them. Look, they're at 5 million market cap. It looks really good. If you draw these 2 trend lines, the first one, resistance here on the 26th of February. Then we have support twice here in early May. We have resistance again in June, and we have resistance again in the 16th of July. So this trend line is very important. And then we have this other trend line which acted as resistance here and support, and now it's turned into support again. So these 2 trend lines are very important. I think it's in this sort of like broadening type of wedge, kind of. Once it breaks above all-time highs, that's what I'm seeing for AWR. Once it breaks above this, it's going to reaccumulate there, and then I think all-time highs. Look, I like AWR. I think it's one of the best meme coins on pump.fun. Then we have Popcat. With Popcat, I am beginning to be concerned. I am beginning to be a little bit concerned, okay? Popcat needs to go to 720 or it's going to die, and it's going to die slow, painful death. If Popcat breaks down again into this range here, into like 214, it's over for Popcat. If it comes back down here, it's over. Like, the market will simply leave these old memes and only bid the new ones, the BONK ones. So we need Popcat to turn ASAP to 720. Look, it's an S-tiered meme. It's a great meme. It's like the premier cat coin meme in the entire world, and it has good liquidity. And so like, I don't see any reason as to why it's looking this weak and pathetic. But let's be honest, right now Popcat looks pathetic and weak, and I'm starting to break my patience here on Popcat because I've been supporting Popcat for a while. So far I'm getting nothing out of it, like nothing. This is like the weakest bounce I've ever seen, and the breakdown just shows me like no one has interest in anything that comes from pump fund right now. Anyways, I still have my Popcat. I'm still bullish, but if it comes back down to close to 214, you know, 200, even 260, like I'm done with Popcat. I'm out. I'm done. Then we have Troll. Troll is just doing the sideways thing. It's struggling because it was launched on PumpSwap, and PumpSwap right now is not very bullish. Anything launched on PumpSwap is not very bullish. There's a video here from my friend Stan Crypto, 16k subscribers. He's a Momo guy as well, Momo Army, very cool guy, Stan. Okay, and he explains everything you need to know about PumpSwap. I keep saying PumpSwap because the team are scumbags. So PumpSwap is not bullish. He explains everything. Let me explain to you very, very simply. Okay, it's very easy to understand, but you need to understand this. So Pump.fun created a DEX called PumpSwap. Some people call it PumpSwap, but I like to call it PumpSwap. What they're trying to do is basically like vampire attack Radiant, which until then was the main meme coin DEX on Solana. And what I think is happening is Radium, the Solana Foundation, and you know, Solana Insiders, 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗛𝗏, etc., and the BONK guys are all in this triangle of love. I call it the triangle of love. So they're trying to take liquidity away from PumpSwap and put it back into Radium. And BONK is their mechanism to destroy PumpSwap and Pump.fun. Now, Pump isn't dead. They have a ton of money. I think, honestly, the team from Pump, they've made their bag. They're like probably billionaires. I know they have like $2 billion there in cash, in reserves, and they're going to retire. They don't care anymore. Good to them. Great to them. What they've done is amazing in crypto. Like one of the best teams ever. And they built something which was the only thing that retail cared about this entire cycle. Now, they've already won, so they're not hungry. They don't care about anything anymore. And now the BONK team is hungry, and they're stealing liquidity away and putting it into Radium and into their BONK Fun app. And this is good because the Solana team, Solana Foundation is probably behind it. I see 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗧𝗏 sort of like soft chilling stuff on BONK and interacting more with the BONK team. I don't see a lot of these Solana people give a shit about the Pump Fun team and whatever's happening on PumpSwap at all. But anyways, you need to understand this because what's happening now with BONK Fun, with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, with Useless, with Momo is incredibly bullish and is the main narrative. And this main narrative is not going to go away because we are supported by people in Solana, people in BONK. Look, they're all watching Momo, they're all watching all of these memes, they're positioning, they're going to do buybacks on the top memes. So if they actually are going to do what they say they're going to do, then they should do buybacks on Momo as well, because it's like one of the biggest memes on BONK. And it's one of the few ones that isn't bundled and isn't a complete, you know, supply controlled scam. Look, I don't mind with supply control if the chart's like Useless, but the vast majority of these memes don't look like Useless. They just end up being rugs. When it comes to Momo, it's 100% organic, real meme. One of the few ones. And you can see it in the chart. Look at the chart getting hammered constantly, and then major excitement and FOMO, you know, people FOMOing Momo. This is a real chart. This is what a real chart looks like. So we're creating network effects here on Momo. I'm incredibly bullish Momo. You should be too. This is a long-term project. There's a ton of stuff happening in the background with Momo, with the team. Look, I'm paying myself from my own pocket a lot of the stuff that's happening right now. So is this guy, Stan, my friend, and many other people, some other Momo whales. The cycle is intact. Everything looks still bullish. Ethereum almost went to $4,000. So it almost demonstrated some type of strength. But fact of the matter is, not a lot of people are interested in ETH. I mean, it barely demonstrated any strength. Barely. We need to see ETH all-time highs. And the fact is, so far, there's no alt season. No one cares about altcoins. People only care about meme coins. That's like a guaranteed fact. Even if we have an alt season, don't expect the alt season to be like it was last cycle. Don't have these big expectations. There's a lot of sell pressure, a lot. And there's no justification for any of these 100 million, 1 billion, you know, market cap, venture capitalist shitcoin. Momo is better than all that crap. That crap didn't pump 300x. Momo helped poor people make some money. I know people that put $400 and now have 10k in their pocket and another 10k in Momo. So Momo is like karmically aligned in a positive manner, and all of this other bullshit from venture capitalists should go to fucking zero. It's all a scam, all of it. There's no technology. So align yourself with meme coins. When BTC turns back, if ETH starts pumping again, but more importantly, Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes and makes new all-time highs, only memes are gonna pump. The rest, you don't know. You don't know if there's gonna be any retail interest in any of these other things. So anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow with more information. I hope you understood what's happening here with Solana versus Pump.Fun. I told you guys not to touch the Pump.Fun token because you have to be incredibly fucking stupid to buy something that launches at like 6 billion FTV or 5 billion FTV. Like, what the hell are you doing? You are getting used. You are exit liquidity for these guys, for these sharks. They don't care about you. Look, congrats to the Pump team. They did amazing, but now they're probably gonna go live on some island somewhere. The hungry guys now are the BONK guys. So bet on stuff that's launched there. Very simple. Anyways, see you guys tomorrow with more information, more charts, more Momo, more useless Hosiko, and many more memes. Bye bye.